What's up, everybody? Give me a couple moments. Gonna share that we are live. Be right back with you. All right, good morning, everybody. Gonna get started, look at the pre-market, and see what we're gonna be watching. As you guys can see, price yesterday started falling out of the rising wedge on the futures. Now it's bouncing off of the 9 EMA. Just like I told you guys last night, to keep an eye out on, that this 9 EMA is support. Now you have the resistance up here. So now you got to watch between support and resistance what's going to happen today. Again, trading is all about support and resistance. Super, super important. So let's look at what's on our watch list for this morning, see what's going on. Choof, not doing anything pre-market right now. So obviously with this one, you want to see if it can get over $1 and continue upwards using $1 as critical support area. So right now it's not doing much of anything. Let's look at GALT, G-A-L-T. So GALT, we wanted to see if this thing can get above, what did I put GALT as? At or below 780, 782. This one may continue up. See if it can get above $8. If not, we had it as a potential short. So this is one to potentially watch to short down. So that is definitely one to keep an eye on. You can't get shares with Thinkorswim, but if you have a broker like Interactive Brokers and you can get shares to short with them, this one might be one to keep an eye on if $8 fails. So if $8 it goes and breaks above $8 and then it starts to fail, there's a short down and then obviously a potential short down and support all the way down right over at 676. So that one could potentially fall. So GALT, got to see what's going to happen with that one. RRTS. There's some resistance up around $3. Want to see if this one's going to continue up. Not much going on pre-market. That's okay. Like we've been telling you guys, our watch list, the majority of them in the pre-market are not being watched because, you know, people are watching trade ideas or other scanners. So our watch lists fly under the radar a lot where they don't build a lot of volume many times pre-market, and then it'll start gaining volume when the market opens, when everybody's distracted by ones on trade ideas. Then you can get your scalp or your quick move on some of the ones on our watch list and then go over and play the patterns on trade ideas. Or you could do vice versa. If you know how to trade quickly and scalp in and out, go trade ideas, right? So we're trying to show you guys both sides of the fence with being able to trade both by looking at patterns, because everything is patterns. All right, so RRTS has some resistance around $3. You can see it's up at 270 pre-market, not much volume, so it's one to keep an eye on, see if it's going to move up at market open. EXK. So this one, you wanted to see get above that let's say 330 marker. I'll move this drawing. And right now, the pattern's messy on it, so it's not looking so hot right now. So, obviously needs to get above 330 to potentially continue up. You can see basically a cup and then a handle. So see if you can get above that 330-ish, and then the resistance kind of it goes up 340-ish, also 370. So for it to continue up, you got to see it break above those resistance levels. So right now it's not looking so hot. SRRA. This one right here has kind of an ascending triangle right here being formed. Want to see if it can get above that 369-ish marker up here with some resistance around just above $4. So SRRA, not much volume, that's okay. See if this thing's going to grind up and continue. Let's do a trend line right over kind of in here. So you can kind of see somewhat of a trend line you can draw over right in, let me see, maybe make it a little bit better. That's a little bit better. So kind of a flat top ascending triangle. So I want to see SRRA, see if it can break above that 355 and then that 369, and then keep an eye out for some resistance around 4 or just above 4. All right, so let's look at RUBI. RUBI is in the gap right now. See if it can get above $3. Let's make a line right up at $3. That's psychological resistance area. And price is in the gap. See if the gap will fill right around that 330-ish marker. So it's right in the center of this gap over here. See if it'll continue up over $3 and fill this gap over at that 334-ish area. ARQL. Not doing much pre-market, but you want to see if it's going to get above that 560-ish level with some resistance right around $6. So it's not doing too much pre-market. ARQL. And EGY. I'm going to see here, you can see an ascending kind of triangle being formed right here. See if price can get above that 266. In the pre-market, it's at 273. It's potentially gaining some volume, keeping with that ascending triangle. And then I would keep an eye at that $3 as resistance. So I like this one right here for EGY. So right now I don't have trade ideas pulled up. I'm getting some computer work done later today. So we're just going to go off the ones off the watch list for right now. Keep an eye on these, and then when the market opens, we'll look at some of the higher gappers in the morning. And yeah, when you're day trading, again, remember, very, very important if you're a beginner trader to define your risk and know, support and resistance levels and determine what your profit level areas are. Again, it's important to remember we all want to make money day trading or trading in general, but you have to know, what is it you're looking to make? Again, are you just trading blindly? Like if price breaks above 273, when are you going to decide to exit? When are you going to decide to take profits? When are you going to decide to cut your losses if the trade goes against you? So if you're not determining those questions or answering those questions first, and you're just trying to trade and make money, and you don't know what you're going to make and what you're going to risk to make it, that's not going to be a way to be a profitable trader, right? So you have to be able to define your risks and say, okay, this is an ascending triangle, yearly highs of 266, pre-market high of 273. If it can break above 273, where does it have room to run to? Potentially $3. So there's a potential to make maybe 30 cents on it. And what are you willing to risk? Where would be your stop loss? Well, you might want to look at that 266 area right over here, or potentially pre-market high, depending what it does at the open. So again, you want to always have at least a 2-to-1 profit loss ratio. Very, very important. So if you have the potential to make 30 cents, you don't want to risk more than 15 cents on that trade, right? If you have the potential to make 20 cents, you don't want to risk more than 10. Very, very important to define your risk and have proper trading strategies before you get into any trade. So let me do this about 4 minutes to market open. I'll split the screen down over here and then put my charts over here. Right now, I'm liking that EGY because it has some volume. It's forming that ascending triangle. It's got some room to run up to $3. It's a medium float stock. So again, not saying it won't pump and dump, but these medium float stocks, they tend to pump and dump less. So it might be kind of a grind, you know. And if you're, you have the potential to make 30 cents and you can scalp 10, 15 cents, that's a good day trade, right? I'm going to look at that one and then either SRRA or GALT. GALT has some volume right now. I'm going to put it over here, GALT. So this one I was looking at as a potential short, and it's trading sideways at $8. So $8 is very important to hold. Otherwise, look out for a potential short. So we'll look at a couple of them here. One for a potential long on an ascending triangle, maybe break above. And then GALT, we'll look and see, is this $8 going to fail at some point and might have a possible short. So we'll kind of look at both sides of the fence. If you guys are watching on YouTube and you're not a subscriber yet, you can subscribe over here on our YouTube, or right over here. We're only $10 a month. We do all our chatting and everything in our chat rooms. We turn off the chat on YouTube. Also, just a forewarning to YouTube users that like to lurk for free and aren't members yet. Again, at some point, we might scale it back and you might not necessarily get our lives every single day on YouTube. So there might be a day or two a week where we're going to only stream for members only. Again, we are only $10 a month. So I'd advise you guys to join for only $10 a month so that way you'll have access to us in our streaming and our chat rooms and all of that good stuff. So now we wait. EGY, again, we're looking to see if it can get some volume, break above 273. And GALT, potential short down if $8 fails. Lots of room to fall if it does. Hey Nadine, how's it going? You can see GALT right now has kind of a head and shoulders being built. You can see a left shoulder here, a head, and kind of a right shoulder all trading sideways. So if it can't break above that 804, this might be one to keep an eye on down. I'm going to switch to a 1 minute now because the patterns are kind of setting up over here. So let's keep an eye over here. Again, GALT, you can take this potentially long. I was looking at it short to see if it ends up failing, but just got to watch these patterns. Watch how they form. You can see EGY trading sideways right now. Not really any volume, but just have to see if it can break above that 273 area. Thanks, Nadine. And you can see Galt popped up to 810, now high of day, and now it's starting to fail $8. So now you're going to see, can $8 hold? If not, you know, there's a potential short looking at previous close and then the moving average lines going down. You can see right here, you know, watch if it'll fail that 796, and EGY has now broken high of, or a pre-market high. So now at this point, you want to see 273 hold with $3 at resistance. And look at this, right? It's failing $8 in the course of less than 2 minutes. You could have taken a short right below 796, right down to 780. That's a 15-cent move in the course of a minute. That's shorting, guys. Price goes up, fails the support level. Now you look at other support levels to cover, potentially. Galt, okay, that's got a lot of volume. Where is EGY? It's building some volume over here, so now it's moving up. And Galt is still failing. Look at that. So show you guys two contrasting styles. This is a short, and then here's where you're looking at a potential long. So you can see right here, broke 273 up to 279. You know, this is dropping a lot faster. You know, this is more of a slower grind. The reason why this is dropping so fast is because it's so overextended on the daily at a yearly high, and many times it'll give back a bunch of this candle. And now, again, failing previous close, 200 SMA. Now you might want to look at VWAP area 738 or see if it's going to pull back to previous close, because many times after it fails, it'll bear flag and go back up. That's where you got to, again, take your profits, look for reentry. But you can see right here, 796 down to 760. You know, it's almost a 40-cent short. And it could still continue down. Obviously, if you'd like, you could do a 5-minute candle and use high of day as a stop, but obviously consider taking your profits along the way. And right here on EGY, if you're trading this, technically you could, you know, be up 10 cents right now. Above 273 up to 283, you could have a potential 10-cent profit on those 3 candlesticks. Now, at this point with EGY, you want to see if it's going to, oh, I was going to say, see if it's going to bull flag and go up. Got to watch this right over here. Remember, on this 1 minute, a bit overextended, so it may want to pull back and bull flag, or it could do a tweezer tops and just tank, right? Right over here, Galt may be bear flagging and can continue down. You got to watch the resistance areas at the 200 SMA. And previous close. So now, right now, it's rejecting the 200 SMA. Got to watch these moving average lines and previous close as resistance. ARQL might be trying to advance up. We're going to come back over to Galt. So just to show you guys again how a short works, it's selling off. Price is now moving back because it got oversold. Now it's moving back to resistance levels. Now you got to see, is price go over resistance levels, or is it going to continue to fail? Right now it's failing moving average lines. So now you can see here's a bear flag, right? Now you want to see if price will fall below 760 and continue downwards, with the high of day being at the 810 marker. Right over in here with EGY, now you can see price is going up. It's pulling back here. You got to see, is this going to bull flag, or is it going to go and break above 284 high of day? So watch here and see if this is bull flags and holds, or if it's going to fail and go down towards the moving average lines. Let's go and take a look at ARQL right now. So ARQL was on our watch list. And let's see here. ARQL, we were seeing if it can get above that 561 area. If so, it has some room to potentially go up to $6. So as you can see, it's broke above that 560-ish area. Now it's got some room. See if it retests and holds right here. So it's retesting. Watch if this area can hold. And watch over here with EGY. You can kind of see right here. Kind of a flag right here. So see if it stays in this flag and breaks out, or watch if this flag fails. So now I'm showing you guys, again, more of a 1 minute chart. I've been showing you guys the 5 minute. Now I'm going to look and see the 1 minutes, because some of these are starting to run or move up a little bit at the bell. So we're going to move it to the 1 minute and see, you know, is it worth taking a trade on some of these? Right now on EGY, it's showing some weakness right now. Let's take a look at the 5 minute chart. So you can see big flag pull up. Now it's pulling back over here. And over on this one on ARQL, flag pull up, maybe forming a star pattern. Have to see. If it's a star pattern, it may want to reverse. It needs to get above that 562-ish area right over in here. Getting a little bit, you know, having some indecision over in here. You want to see it get above kind of that 280, you know, maybe that 282, 283-ish range right in here. Right here. That's right. Got to get above that like 283 area and see if it bull flags and breaks out. And ARQL is staying over the high of day. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. Right here, so it broke out, it retested. So far the retestings hold. It has to hold this area here, that 562, and push up. There you go with EGY. There's your bull flag. Now it needs to break above 284 and continue upwards. What is Creed saying? Creed says, I'm just going to blame it on Lucian. Haha. There you go. Bull flag. Breaking out, 284 support. Now we got to watch again on the daily. If it continues, probably right around that 297-ish area to maybe $3. So very important for that 284 to hold. Just realize it's a bit overextended, and the market, let's see here, it's near resistance, I believe. And ARQL, you can see it's not holding. The retest is failing right now, which isn't good. Let's take a look at the 5 minute. So as you can see, it's going up, coming right back down. So showing you guys the contrast of the 1 minute and the 5 minute charts. You know, that's why I like to have a 5 minute up, 5 minute up, and then also look at the 1 minute, and you can see it's just going up and then it's coming back down. So if you're not quick, sometimes you miss the moves. Right here, this is a nice bull flag, pulls, breaks out, but now it can't stay above that 284. It's failing. So now you could use this 9 EMA as a guide as your stop. EGY right now, Raf, you're saying where would you enter EGY on the bottom of the flagpole? On I wouldn't say that. Right now you have the resistance around 284. Got to watch what happens here around 281, but you have to be careful. Now that it broke that bull flag and it rejected, now you could have a possible head and shoulders forming. You can see a head, a left shoulder. Now you have to be very careful. See, it failed the break over here. This is a nice bull flag. It failed. Now it's got some indecision going on here. So it has to get above that 284 area. And right here on ARQL, you can see this is basically an evening star pattern, reversed down. See if it can hold the 9 EMA on the 5 minute and continue up. Right now it's a reversal pattern. So this is showing you guys the contrast between the 1 and the 5 minute. You have to be quick. Sometimes if you're just doing the 5 minute, you're going to miss the move on the 1 minute. Sometimes if you just trade the 1 minute and the 5 minute setup's not that great, then you can get, caught. So right here, this trapped you on the bull flag. Still hasn't failed the 9 yet, but now you got to say, okay, a head, a potential left shoulder, this may be trying to reverse. And now let's go over to Ruby. Ruby kind of went up to 297 marker. It's pulling back, so see if this bull flags and holds on a 5 minute for a break, or if it's going to fail the 9 EMA. I don't like the EGY pattern right now with this. I don't like this. That's showing some indecision, right? It's kind of a, what do you call it? A shooting star-ish pattern. It's not up higher, but it's a little bit messy right now. So it's got to get ideally even above that 285-ish marker. But this right here, this wick, could cause you to get trapped. So you have to be very careful. So this, when you're trading, guys, this is where you have to determine what kind of trader are you? Are you a 1 minute trader? You want to get in scalp really quick, or do you want to let the patterns form? Right now you're getting close to about 15 minutes into the day. So the first 10 to 15 minutes on a 5 minute chart, you can start to see patterns and decide how you're going to trade, right? Ruby, this may be forming a bull flag and holding here, right? So you want to see, is it going to hold on a 5 minute for a potential break of $3? EGY, it's a little bit messy. It's kind of almost a head and shoulders on a 5 minute. This candle is one to potentially trap you. ARQL, let me move RUBI over here. Oops, RUBI. So now it's again showing a little bit more weakness now. It's not looking so hot at the moment. It's a bigger red candle than you want to see. But let's see on, what was the one I was just looking at? No, not ARQL. So I'm looking at the ones for the watch list. I'm not liking many of the patterns right now. As you can see with Galt, like I showed you guys, as a short, this was your play, a nice bear flag short. So if you had a broker like Interactive Brokers, this is a real good one to short. And now at this point, if this it's gotten down to about 750-ish area. So if this 750 area cracks, this one has some more room to fall. Yeah, so going back to patterns, guys, when you have these 5 minute candles, then you can kind of let these patterns form, and you can have the patience to kind of sit back and, again, let the patterns form. If you're a 1 minute trader, you're going to have to be quick, right? You're going to have to trade this move up, and then be careful and make sure you're taking your profits before it kind of reverses back down. Also be aware of the market. The market's kind of in an indecision mode right now. You can see ES. On the daily, it's right between support at this 9 EMA and resistance. So it's got to obviously choose a direction. Oh, let's go over to the morning scan. See what's moving. All right, so at this point, I'm not liking many of the patterns. At this point, the move of the day from our watch list was that short on Galt. That was a really nice mover. And the one that had a 10-cent pop on the 1 minute, what was that, Galt this morning that we're looking at? I have to go and say. Some of these ones are just selling off right now. Let's look at EXK right over here. Watching right now, you can see this big cup handle. You can see it was down in the morning today, but now if you look at the 5 minute, now you can see, is this possibly bull flagging for a potential break? You can see 330 resistance. So you can kind of just watch this pattern here, see if this bull flags. If it does, there's a chance to, you know, for it to move up potentially 10 cents before it fails, if it can get above previous close. Pattern's a little bit messy over here right now, but it's kind of an ascending triangle-ish. You can see higher lows being formed. So I like to look for these things, these potential bull flags, and then you know, see, okay, does this have a chance to break out and continue? Got to watch and see. Ruby, another one right now. You can see this kind of high a day around $3, pulling back. See if this bull flags and gives you a potential entry for a potential breakout. So you can start to see these patterns forming, right? Once you get used to seeing these patterns on a 5 minute, if you are a beginner trader, then you could start transitioning these, you know, very similar patterns over onto a 1 minute. So right now, it's breaking above this 322-ish area. Now, ideally, you'd want to see it continue and hold and get above that 324. So this is where we'd start to look at a 1 minute chart and see what's going on with it. And it's a little bit messy right now. Came down right over in here, and now it rejected right at previous close. Now you want to see if that 322 area will hold or if it's going to fail. Right now it's failing. So that's why you have to look at the combination of the 1 and the 5 and see what's going on. And then obviously determine your risk management before you enter a trade. This one with Ruby, I want to see a smaller 5 minute candle hold above VWAP and the 9 EMA so you can get a good, you know, possible bull flag for a break above $3. So I want to watch this pattern over here and see if it'll give you a decent entry. And I remember, if it breaks $3, it has some room to run up to that 330 to potentially close that gap. So this one might be setting up. This is one to keep an eye on. If this can hold here and forms a nice flag above VWAP, it might have a chance to run above $3. So you can see on the 1 minute here, price on EKX or EXK went up, failed. Now it's having trouble getting over the 322. See if it can break above that can get above that 324. So right now I'm not really liking many of these patterns. Actually, let me go over to Galt real quick. Galt might no, it just kind of moved on. This is the 1 minute. I was looking at a 5 minute on Galt. Let me see. A 5 minute on Galt, I was looking at it right over in here that you had right here a chance for a potential, was that 762 up to the moving average lines to 778. So this is where you would look at a potential dip buy, right? You would look over here if price can get above that 762 down to 752. you could risk that 10-cent candle for the potential to make. So that's where you got to say 762 up to 778, 16 cents. So if you're right there, you'd be, risking 10 cents to make potentially 16. So I want to show you guys dip buying for potential reversal. But again, it's not quite 2-to-1 ratio. You're risking 10 cents to make 16, not the best ratio. Let me go to a 1-minute chart. And 762, it just went up to 774. So you could have scalped, about 12 cents on it. So again, you're kind of more like a 1-to-1 ratio. And that's where you have to be careful. You want at least ideally 2-to-1. And right here, you can see Ruby, it's failing. So at this point, these patterns are not looking so hot. Let's take a look at maybe SRRA. Put this one over here. So SRRA rejected the top of this kind of ascending triangle earlier, started to fail over in here. Not getting much volume right now, so it needs some volume. I just saw this candle might be trying to reverse, go red to green. So see if it can get above that 356 area. So see if some volume will come in and get it to break above. And you can see some resistance right around that 368 marker. And then up to just around $4. So watch the pattern on that one form. All right, so let's do this. Let me look at any more of my patterns. Not looking so hot. Let's go over to some of the ones that are moving this morning and look at. So now, this is what I want to show you guys. So this is where you can use a combo of our watch list, combination of trade ideas. Now you're 20 minutes into the market. Patterns are playing out. And now we can go and see on some of these movers after you let some of the bulls and the bears duke it out. See what you might be looking at. So FLKS, this one is moving up. You can see on the daily. If it gets right above that 147 marker, this thing has some room to go. So now look at the 5-minute. You can see some kind of a gap right around that, right at the top of that gap right there, that 201-ish area. So this one has some room to go. And it's starting, the EMAs are starting to separate. So this is one to potentially watch. And there you go. So now you want to see at this point that 150-ish area, see if it can hold. And it's slowly building. Moving average lines are slowly starting to separate. So this is one to keep an eye on. Now you can see the volume's building. Now you got this wick, right? Watch for potential. Obviously, usually at many of the times it pulls back. 168 is high a day. So this is where bears start coming in, trying to push price down. Now you have this doji candle. It's overextended. So if you didn't get in down here, right, it starts as it starts to separate and price gets further away. Price naturally wants to pull back. So this is where you might have to slow it down, go to a 5-minute, see what's going on. You can see it's kind of in this indecision phase right now. Go back to the 1-minute. Want to see if it pulls back. Again, overextended. So it's right between that 148 to 168 marker. And you kind of have this doji candle. Bears are trying to push it down. Let me look over at EGY again. I'm going to put that over here. So at this point, you want to see, is it going to pull back, kind of hold a little bit, maybe a little bit of a flag, or is it just going to go and completely dump down? Right now, this doji candle and this wick is warning you that it's being pushed down. So you got to see if the pattern will hold and flag, or if it's going to collapse. So on EGY, I was looking at that green candle. I want to see if it can get above that 280-ish marker and see if it can get above 285 and flag, but It's not looking so hot right now. So at this point, we can draw kind of a flag area over in here. You guys see that? So you have a flag. See if price can go and break out of this flag area. See if it can get above around that right around that 160-ish area. Be aware that it's still a bit overextended on the 1 minute. Awesome. Red and Black says, I'm done for the day. 5 out of 5 winner shorting Galt. Galt was a really nice short. Good job. On the watch list. So now you got to watch here, see if there's a nice green candle that forms, and sometimes it just goes so quickly right there, and there you go, right? These things move really quickly. Again, low floater, right? Pops out of that flag, rejects right back down. That's how these low floaters work. Boom, boom, really quickly. Remember, it's a bit overextended. Needs to get above that 170-ish area to continue. EXK might be moving up. Let's see. Let's go back to the 5 minute over end here for, so you can see at this point with FLKS, the pattern's a little bit messy right now. It's kind of forming a doji or a spinning top area, so it's in this indecision mode right now. And then when you go over to the 1 minute, that's where you can see you had that one little quick flag, pops up, now it's pulling back. So that makes it a little bit challenging to trade. Let me go over to, let's try another one over here. HLYK. Kind of has a bull pennant forming. Let's see on the daily. Yeah. Let's go back over to SRRA. So SRRA may be broaching that 356 area. See if it can go and break out over 356. So you kind of have this it's not the best way to connect them right here. Kind of the ascending triangle here. Needs to go up and break 356, but it's having a tough time getting above 355 and 356. Guys, I will be back in 1 moment. Give me a couple minutes. We're going to let's see if some of these patterns are forming. Right now, things are not looking so hot right now. We'll go back and see some of these movers on the day here, see if there's any patterns to look at. The watchlist ones right now, it looks like they're very bearish right now. Yeah, I don't see any thing to really keep an eye on, except for maybe SRRA possibly, and EXYK. What is that one? Or EXK. It kind of has this ascending triangle forming right here with previous close. Definitely has to get, it's got room to resistance, but you know, I'm looking at the patterns here. It's still a little bit messy, so I'm not loving it overall, but I'm watching to see this ascending triangle form, see if it can break out and go red to green, and if it'll move. Yeah, I'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. All right, I'm back. So, still not many good patterns. EGY possibly. Let's take a look at that one. EGY on a 5-minute. Maybe forming a symmetrical triangle right down in here. So now you want to see if this one's going to continue, can get above that, maybe that 280-ish marker right over in here, and move up. Needs to get above 285. But you can see, just trying to show you guys patterns right now. So there you go. It's hitting 281. Now we want to see at this point, let's take a look at the 1 minute. Maybe trying to move out. You got to get above that 285 marker. And again, let's look at resistance right around just below $3. So we'll keep that one over to the side. You can see there was that hammer right off the 9 EMA. Again, not a ton, necessarily a ton of room to run, but you got to see, we're looking for these, you know, like something like this, a nice hammer. See, look for the pattern. These symmetrical triangles could be a little bit difficult to trade. This ascending triangle over here on EXK, just still not really moving. Needs to get above, if it could break above that 330-ish area. Just not, again, like I said, as I was making that the watch list last night, I just really wasn't liking the looks of it. You know, could you have scalped, was it about 10 cents earlier on EK, or yeah, right here you could have had maybe a quick scalp up here on this one, but other than that, really not looking so hot right now. Let's go see. Well, let's take a look at some of the other movers again today. Not really looking so good either. So you had this kind of the bull flag over here, held the 9 EMA, popped up towards high a day, and it just rejected and failed. So here's one, again, one of the higher movers, not doing much. FLKS. Now we want to look at this one and see. Right now, is it kind of bull flagging? Let's take a look over kind of right in here a little bit. Kind of watch and see if it can get above that. It's that 175-ish area. So you can see kind of just, it went up. Now it's pulling right back down to the moving average lines. And you can see that $2, some resistance. So now you got to see if the pattern on this one will hold. On EGY, you can see this one's moving up right to that 285 high of day. It's pulling back. Now you want to see, can it get above that 285? Look for $3 resistance. So it broke kind of out of this symmetrical triangle. And it's still within kind of an ascending triangle, right? Kind of now you have a flat top area, higher lows being formed. So at this point, price needs to get above that 285 marker if it's going to continue. Let's look at DEST. Come on. There we go. So DEST has kind of almost that head and shoulders pattern. You can see a head up here, kind of a left shoulder right here, right shoulder, neckline. Look at that. So there's your head and shoulders. So again, just showing you guys, here's one pre-market high, at open has just failed, and now you have this head and shoulders, right? Let me show you guys a drawing. Head, head right there. Left shoulder, right shoulder, and then there's your neckline, right? Head and shoulders. Right now, on EGY, you have currently a double top. But you could also see, so you can see a top here, top right here. So you have a double top within a potential cup and handle that this handle might be forming. This cup may be a handle within an ascending triangle. So now at this point needs to get above that 285 area. So watch if this is a handle that's going to form, or if it's going to fail. You can see your higher lows being formed. Look for these patterns. Today's a tricky day, guys. Really tricky. I'm not seeing much of anything that I like. Let's go back over here. So again, HLYK at open. Oh, this one may, let's see. This is a cheapo stock here. 44 cents. Might be doing an ascending triangle or a cup, possibly a handle. Let's see, 65 resistance. Let's go to the daily. Needs to get above around that 440, that 45-cent area. Again, you have this kind of that's bull flagging, kind of goes up, comes back down. Now forming, you know, ascending triangle-ish or a cup and handle. It's kind of like FLKS again. Now you got to see if it's going to hold this 9 EMA and kind of get some volume and go up. You got to be careful. These, what is that, 167 down to 132. These candles don't look like much, but there's quite a bit to them. So, you know, this is one to keep an eye on, but just be aware of the candles. And it's been today, you know, it might be trying to reverse and go up, but just remember the gap and the volatility and keep an eye on those candles. Let's look at DEST. DEST might be one to watch now. So this one might be one to watch. 464 high. You can see right over here a flag right here. So now it has 464 resistance. This is one to keep an eye on. Finally, something to keep an eye on here. So now you can see this candle right over in here. You can see this green candle, 436 down to 423. It's a 13-cent candle. But yeah, so right here, just to show you guys risk management. So see this candle here, 437 down to 422. Actually, that's a 15-cent candle. So if you got in at the break of this candle, 437 up to 464, these are the things you have to make these trading decisions. It's very important. If you're doing at least a 2-to-1 profit loss ratio, you can see 464 down to 437. Is 27 cents, right? So you have the potential, if this candle breaks, to make 27 cents when you'd be risking, what's that, 437 down to 422, 437 down to 422. What? That was 15 cents. So you guys seeing what I'm showing you guys with risk management? Just because the setup is good doesn't mean you should necessarily take that trade, right? The trade looks good, but remember, 437 down to 422. You're risking a close below this candle, so that's a 15-cent candle for the potential to make 437 to 464, right? So that's less than a 2-to-1 profit-loss ratio. So I'm not saying you wouldn't take that trade, but you have to. These are the things you have to be aware of. If you're not quite risking 2-to-1, you have to be very careful, right? You have to at least be able to make 2 times what you're risking if you want to be a successful trader long term. And right now it's moving up, you know, and it's pulling back right now. So right here, 437 up to 455. It didn't quite go that high, so you have to be quick and react. Go to the 1 minute. As you can see, you know, it kind of goes up, pulls right back down. You have to be quick, gets above VWAP, pulls back down. Now it's either going to bull flag and hold up. You can kind of see kind of a cup and handle. But you guys see how it gets a little bit messy and choppy. You have to be quick. But just because, again, we're trying to teach you guys, just because a setup might look potentially good, you have to know of your risk reward ratio. You know, you want to ideally try to make a 2-to-1 profit loss ratio. If you just start taking trades just to take trades, you know, again, having at least a 2-to-1 profit loss ratio helps you to be a more successful trader long term. And now it's indecision mode right now. Looking at a 5-minute chart, it's a bit messy. You had to be quick. You had to get in on this, and now this can go either way right now. This could go up, but you got to be aware of it's got to contend with this wick above. Over here on EGY, maybe forming a cup and kind of handle. Got to keep an eye on it and see. So these are ones you could, you know, have some. Let me go to a 5-minute on this one. Yeah, so it still has that double top right now. So again, ascending triangle, cup, maybe a handle with also a double top. Has to get above that 285 area. Are you guys seeing so far what I'm showing you guys? That it's another day, right? Another one of these days. That's a grind. Let's take a look at BRFS. Oops, why does, I don't know. Thinkorswim's acting up again, huh? I think Thinkorswim's acting up again today, guys. PLM. No. TNTR, you can see at 60 cents area is some resistance on the daily. Right, look at, dang, just trading sideways. There's that 66-cent resistance, right, or 67, right around that 200 EMA. So this is something you start to look at and you say, okay, it's a little bit messy, but, you know, it's these things you want to kind of look at, you know, kind of flagging a little bit. See, is it going to go and break out? Needs to, you know, again, 60, 66 cents resistance. You got to find these. I don't love many of these, you know, they're kind of going up. They're grinding today. Kind of not the best day. But that happens, right? You can't make money every single day in the stock market. Some days you're going to just not trade. Galt. So this is the mover from the watch list. This is the one I felt was going to be mover. If you guys watched my watch list video last night, spent an hour and a half basically chatting and BSing with you guys and basically saying the whole time, I don't like this watch list. Well, look, I don't like the watch list, but all the alerts triggered, or almost all except for one. So again, you got to be quick on some of them. That's why we say don't trade just to trade. But look at Galt right here. You had the previous close right here. We said a short right over here at or below 782, which is previous close. Look at kind of bear flagged here, bear flagged here, bear flagged here. And this is a nice short. This is the move of the day. So bear flag, bear flag, bear flag. It's these patterns you want to see, these clearly defined patterns that help you to trade, right? Right here. Then you have right here. And then you have right here. You guys see that? Red candle, pull back. Red candle, pull back. 2 red candles, pull back. These are the patterns you want to start to say. Cody saying, asking if INSY has a cup and handle. Let's take a look. Thinkorswim is going to be a pain in the butt today. So yeah, that is a cup and handle. You can see cup, handle. Good eye, Cody. 670 maybe flagging right here, so you can see these patterns being formed. So cup, kind of handle. It could also be a double top if it fails at 670. So it's caught between that 660 or 760, 770. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. Yeah. So right here, price is trading sideways. You got this channel 760, 770. Again, doesn't mean it's going to break out just because it's a cup and handle. You have to see it get above that 670. So if you risk on a trade like this before the cup breaks, then you got to see, you know, what are you willing to risk? Are you going to use your 9 EMA as a stop or the 760 area as a stop? Or do you wait for the top of the cup to break, retest, maybe bull flag before it continues up? That's where you have to determine your risk. Very important. This could easily go back up to 770 and just fail again. It can easily break out, and it might not retest. It might just take off. So these cup and handles get very tricky. So again, look at these patterns, but you have to realize, okay, this is important area 770 that it has to break. So the probabilities, when you look at probabilities, many of times cup and handles break out, but how far is it going to go? You know, that's where you have to determine your risk reward strategy. You can see right over in here, it's got some room to, I mean, kind of a messy looking chart. I'd say probably about $8. You can see kind of a bigger cup and longer handle. So if it breaks out, it's got some room to run to $8. Now it's kind of choppy in this handle right now. So it's showing you guys, you know, 760 is a very, very important support level. So if you get a close below 760 and you took a risk on this trade, you might want to consider getting out. And you can see right here, handle, it might be trying to move up right in here. So cup, here's your handle. It's moving up to 770. And we're going to put that one to the side and see what happens with it. See that? That yo-yo effect. I'm not a huge fan of cup and handles trading them, to be honest with you. I like bull flags and I like ascending triangles and bear flags and descending triangles. That's more my style. So this is the risk when you see the pattern, you know your risk. So now it's going right here. People, you know, they know that 760 area is very important. So that's why you got to determine, do you wait until you get a break on the top of that cup before you get in, or do you risk before ahead of time? Let's go. And Barry, if you're listening, lots of garbage today. Take a shot. Garbage, garbage, garbage everywhere. So you can see an ascending triangle. I like that pattern. See if it can go up and break out. It's got some room to potentially go up to 765. The chart's not the greatest, but again, you can see these patterns. Here it's just kind of smacking around. Needs some more volume though. FLKS. Again, just, I mean, it's just trading sideways right now. DEST. Like I showed you guys earlier, now we can see, okay, DEST had this bull flag, kind of broke out over here. Still no candlestick close below this 423. You still could technically be in this, but now you might have a, this is where you got to then change the pattern up a little bit and say, okay, right here, is this going to be a double top or is it going to be an ascending triangle breakout? And you can see in these ascending triangles, they get messy and bounce around a little bit, right? So let's go over to the daily. It filled that gap. So now a big cup pattern. See if it can get above, where's about that $5 area. Let me go back, get some resistance for you guys. $5. So if it can continue over that where is that gap? 463. Did it fill that gap? Yeah, it looks like it filled the gap, came back down. So if it can get above that 464, it's got some room to go to 5. Very choppy right now. But you can see, guys, very important on these DEST, low floater, moves around really quickly, gets, you know, very volatile. So more profit, so more risk, and also, you know, more reward. So on these low floaters, you know, more reward if it moves up, more risk as it falls back down. Gets very choppy within here. You can see INSY is, oh, that's not, that's a pot stock, I believe. Yep, pot stock. Let's see on the daily. It's gotten beaten down. Let's go back over to DEST again. I'm going to put DEST over on the side. So right now you got this handle. It's a bit, you know, 757 up to 769. It's a bit choppy right now, but you can see cup handle needs to break out and get above that 770-ish marker. It's caught between that 760 to 770 on that handle right now. DEST, you have that ascending triangle being formed. It's smacking around. And what's that for? Again, these candles, just because you see this pattern and it looks good, be aware of the risk management on these candles, right? 464 right here down to 440. That's a 24-cent candle, right? Be aware of your risk. So just because it looks like, oh, it's an ascending triangle and it might break out, be aware of how big these candles are, you know, for risk management. It's not very tight risk management. You know, it could go and break out, but it could also be very easily fail on you as well. TNTR, there you go, kind of broke out, and now it's potentially reversed, and you have that high wave candle. So you had that flag, breaks out, so right from over here, 59 cents, got up to about 65. You can maybe made 5 or 6 cents. Now it's potentially reversing. AFMD, not looking so great. TLGT, head, left shoulder, right down to the neckline here of the head and shoulders. Might be trying to move back up. Have to see. Don't like it. IPCI, possibly trying to reverse. Just the chart's messy. SPI, possible cup and handle being formed here. You can see 50 cents is kind of the top of that handle. Got some room to maybe 65. So you have a cup and kind of handle right here. See if it can hold and break out over 50. There's some resistance at 65. And let's see on the daily. I mean, this daily candle's a mess. So you have this big inverted hammer. So again, these are things you look at and just kind of try to find these patterns. I don't really love it. It's got some room to potentially go up to 65 if it can break out of that 50 cents. DEST still grinding up. Let's look at the 1 minute. So if you're looking at this right now, it's, price is going up. It's touching bot right here. You go. There you go. Keep an eye on the 64. Is it going to go and break above it? There it goes. It may not even get a retest. Breaking out. And there you go. Right over 64. Moves right up. Is it going to retest and go, or is it just going to dump? 474 is the high. So watch if it forms a potential bull flag and continues, or if it fails and just drops. You can see that 464-ish area is support. The arrows on the DEST chart, those are 510. That was something we did in the past and set up, what is it? The moving average crossover lines when the 5 crosses over the 10. So they form those arrows. So now you can see DEST. Is it going to tweezer tops and fail, or is it going to continue and go up? So you have to be very careful, right? Again, all these wicks and stuff, you can make really good money on these hotkeys, but determine just because it breaks out above here, you got to say, am I going to take profits in here, or am I going to try to let it run? Very important though, this 464 is very important support area. And EGY looks like it was moving up. EGY. So EGY, very similar to this, right? So EGY is another one that had the ascending. Let me fix this. Ascending triangle. Kind of broke out. You can assume $3 resistance. So it's the same type of pattern I want to show you guys. This one, DEST, just because it's more of a DEST is a lower float, so it moves quicker moves up and down. So these are going to be quicker moves up, so more profit potential, more risk if it goes against you. EGY, much slower. So EGY is a mid-range low floater, same ascending triangle. And this one right here, if you got in down over here at that 279 and it's up to 287, you're only making 8 cents potentially at this point. But you can see these 284 down to 281. These pullbacks are smaller. So this is where I want to show you guys. This is a perfect textbook example of what I'm trying to show you guys. Finding these patterns and determine, do you like the low floaters? Do you like the medium or high floaters, right? This is going to be more of a grind. You're going to make potentially, again, right over on this candle, 279 up to 287 as of right now, 8 cents. Grinding out for a half hour or so. There you go, up to 290. So now there's your 10-cent move, right? From 10 o'clock to 10:34. In 35 minutes it took to get this 10-cent potential move, a little bit up, $3 resistance. So in this ascending triangle, here's your 10 cents on the day. You can say, okay, I'll take my profits now, or you can maybe see if it'll go up a little bit further, but there's your 10-cent move, right? Over in here, you can see that, if I put this down to 5 minutes, same ascending triangle, but then you have candles of 455 down to 434, 20-cent candle, 463 down to 440. So these are 20-cent candles, and these are 284 down to 281, 3-cent candles, 279 down to 275. 3 and 4 cents. So you're risking 3 and 4 cents to make 10 cents potential. And over in here, you're risking 20 cents for the potential to make maybe 20 cents. You guys seeing this? That's what I want to show you guys, is that you have, when you're risking, you know, 448.58 down to 4, you know, here's a 14-cent candle. You don't know how high this thing's going to go. So just because the pattern looks good, you have to be able to say, do I have the potential to make more and also take profits along the way? So you might be saying, you might be risking 20 cents on this candle to only make 464 to 478. So if you got it, I wouldn't have gotten in on this candle. Maybe this one over in here. But you can see here, you're riding out major waves. You guys see this? So this is a very difficult, ideally you probably want to get in right back over in here. Not this one, not this one, not this one. Maybe in here. But being aware that you're getting in on a spinning top candle in these candles as it's rising, being aware of your risk. So you can make money on both of these strategies. If you're new, there's no way you're going to stomach this. If you know what you're doing and you're a really good trader, then you could potentially, you know, then you can trade this and you can say, okay, I'm just going to keep my stop, you know, maybe somewhere down in here. But, you know, be aware of what you're contending with within this ascending triangle. Whereas over here, you're just slowly grinding it up. So do you want to play this quickly? You're probably not going to do a 5-minute chart over in here. If you're trading DEST, you're probably going to look at the 1 minute, and you're going to be basically, you know, so on you could keep your 5-minute up over here on this slow grinder with EGY, but with DEST, you're going to have to switch to 1 minute and basically get in down in these areas over here and scalp it up. Get in, maybe down right in here, sell. You guys see this? Buying near support down at that 448, selling up at 464 up in here in a 1 minute candle. Let it fall back down right over in here, you know, 458 up to 474. You're scalping 1 minute, right? So you can probably had this 1 minute candle to trade, this 1 minute candle to trade, and then it starts reversing. So again, this is a perfect contrast to show you guys you can trade. You can make money on both, you know, trading both of these ascending triangles. You're gonna have more time. On EGY, you're gonna have more time, lower reward, lower risk. DEST, less time, higher risk, higher reward. So that's where you have to determine what you feel most comfortable trading. There's not a right or a wrong way, but the right way basically is make sure you're managing your risk. Buying at support levels, which are, again, newbie or beginner. If you're a beginner trader, here's where you get trapped. All of these areas, all out in here. This yellow circle is where all of the beginner traders are getting trapped. This yellow circle out here, this yellow circle out here, this all right here. See those yellow circles? Those yellow circles are resistance levels where price is overextended, and this is where your newbies and beginner traders are getting trapped. You're buying at resistance, and then the pros are trapping you. If you are want to trade effectively and become a better trader, you want to buy at support levels. And those levels on this one right over in here, it's, you know, maybe you would have got in on this, a break right over in here potentially when you see this 920 crossover for a break of VWAP, and you're selling up here. So maybe a break of this candle, that 437, selling right up in here. And then maybe down in, you're getting a break of right here, a break of that 448, selling really quickly right up here on 460s. And then right at a break of this 458 and selling up here. So you're getting 1 minute moves. You're selling at tops of candles, right? You're seeing you get in a break of this candle, you're selling up in here. Break of this candle right in here, 448, you're selling up in here. right over in here, 458 selling in here. So you can scalp. You just got to be very, very quickly. So you got to be quick in and out within a minute over here on DEST, and EGY. You're just slowly grinding it out. All right, so there's an example of a good lesson today. It was, again, I get frustrated sometimes trying to teach you guys, you know, because sometimes there's just nothing playing out, right? Until about 10 or 15 minutes ago, it was really just a complete grind on trade ideas again on the watch list. Now we have some action to show you guys something to look at. And as you can see, DEST, maybe, again, right up, and now it's coming back down. So now you can see 478, high a day. Look right over here, tweezer tops, 2 equal highs, coming right back down to the trend line. So at this point, we're looking really weak. Go to a 5-minute chart. And there you go. Bulls push it up. Bears push it right back down. Doji candle, timber. Basically an evening star pattern. Reversal. So this is one DEST that you have to use hotkeys. You're not going to have the stomach to grind this thing out on a 5-minute chart. No way. Unless you have a stomach of steel. Over here, you would. And this one right here might be showing some weakness right here now. Or maybe not, right? So a 5-minute chart. Still, again, beware it's overextended. It's near resistance at $3. You know, if you got your entry back over here at 279 and it's at 274, that's 15 cents, guys. 15 cents of just sitting this thing, you know, sitting in this trade for 40 minutes. So this one, again, just to recap and show you guys, if you got the entry at 10 o'clock, it's 10:42. In 42 minutes, you know, you can still be in this trade, might be starting to reverse. You can say you have lots of time to make a decision, and you're probably going to make 10 to 15 cents on this trade. Lots of time. So you have all the time in the world on this trade, obviously, not always. It's a medium float stock, and you know, so, but again, you're all the time. And the thing what's good about this one is that if the trade starts to go against you, you know, very limiting of your risk. Smaller candles if it goes against you, you know, and you get stopped out, it's going to be smaller stops. You can see right here, down over here, there still hasn't been one close below the 9 EMA yet on a 5-minute. But you got to consider taking your profits, right, near a resistance level. If you got in the break at the top of this ascending triangle right over here, that 285, and not down here, you could be up 10 cents right now. All right, you guys see this? These are the patterns. Thanks, Creed. Appreciate it, bud. Yeah, Creed says, LOL, Lucian, we appreciate the work you'll do even when the market is being dumb. It's hard, guys. It's hard. It's hard sometimes. Like, I stare at the screen for a couple hours, and I want to, like, awesome, sore fingers. Lucian, I'm learning a lot as well. Keep it up. Thanks. You're welcome. Yeah, it's tough. Like, we want to teach you guys, and sometimes it's just, it's a grind. But as, like, I keep, like, reminding myself when I'm trying to teach you guys, as I'm getting frustrated teaching you guys, if there's nothing really to show you, I have to, it's a reminder to then, again, remind you guys as well as myself that there are going to be days in the market that are not good, right? You ideally want the market to go up, or you ideally want it to go down. You want it to choose a direction. When it starts trading sideways, it just gets very challenging. And those are the times that, you know, you're either going to not take a trade because the setup's not that good, or you're going to try to grind out and scalp your 10 cents, right? You might not be able to get a 50-cent move. You're going to scalp your 10 cents. But what happens again after eventually when the market trades sideways, it's going to choose a direction again. It'll go up or it'll go down, and those are opportunities to make good moves long going up or going down. Right over in here, you can see EGY now. It's struggling at that 295. Potential tweezer tops showing weakness. And DEST failing the top of that ascending triangle. What's the moral of the story, guys? When a price breaks out of an ascending triangle, it comes back down and many times retests it and many times fails it. Remember, these ascending triangles on a small cap stock are not the same as an ascending triangle on an Apple or a Google or a Facebook. Not saying they don't dump on those ones, but they're more likely to hold and not dump, whereas ones on these small cap stocks, when that retest happens after a move, it's more than likely at some point going to fail because these are garbage stocks. Remember, these are small pump and dump garbage stocks. So that's why when people ask us, you know, how come you don't have this $3 stock on a swing trade watch list? Because it's garbage. You know, we don't want to get you guys burnt, you know, because it's a matter of when, well, that thing going to pump or is it going to dump? It's not like an Apple or Google or Netflix or any of those, right? It's a garbage pump and dump stock. That's why we don't put swing trade, you know, these smaller cap stocks on a swing trade watch list, because you're going to get burnt. You know, are there times it's going to pump? Sure, but that's not a swing trade. A swing trade is not the same, you know, pumping and dumping on a swing trade watch. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Swing trade, you need time. You need time to make a decision. Not, hey, let me get lucky on this cheap garbage small cap stock that pumps and dumps. That's not a proper way to trade. Speaking of Facebook, they're up $3. Nice. Let's take a look at so at this point, guys, just again, showing you guys, just reiterating this pattern again. Ascending triangle, broke out, came back down, retested, failed. Ascending triangle, broke out, coming back down. You know, it hasn't retested yet, but now you have tweezer tops, and it's not looking so hot. So you had your chance to make your, you know, 10 cents at the break of this top to this reversal. Or if you got in down here, you had a chance to make about 15 to 16 cents. So this was a 10 to 15 cent move, slow grinder. You had about 45 minutes or so to be in this trade to make your 10 to 15 cents. For a lot of you, you'll be like, oh, this is great. I like that time. I'm happy making my 10 to 15 cents. I'll just use my account as leverage. Slower mover, you know, if it goes against me, hey, I'll take a smaller stop. Over here, there's other you traders that are like, dude, this is a grind. I don't want to do that. I don't want to sit there like this. I want to go and bang my hotkeys. All right, well, if you want to bang your hotkeys, go to the 1 minute and, you know, trade these in and out, right? In and out, boom, boom, boom. But if you're new, again, we highly suggest if you're a newbie that you do not trade these stocks like this until you're very comfortable practicing in a virtual account and you know how to use hotkeys. You have to use hotkeys in something like this. Otherwise, you're going to sit here and you're going to stare at your brokerage account going up and down, up and down, up and down, and you're going to bomb it. It's going to make you break out, right? And as you can see, right? See, these are both failing. DEST and EGY are both failing right now on the breakouts. You have your failure up in here. You have this evening star pattern, goes up, doji candle, candle down, and this right here is Creed, I know. I know. Right here, tweezer tops. Tweezer tops is a bearish pattern. Evening star pattern, bearish pattern. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go right over here to our courses. We have our candlesticks course, our advanced candlesticks course, and just to show you guys again what I'm talking about. Tweezer tops, two equal highs, shows a reversal. Over here, tweezer tops, equal highs, reversal down. Evening star pattern. Right here, price goes up, smaller spinning top or doji candle, red candle down. That's a reversal. Look over in here, price goes up, doji candle, red candle down. Right to those moving average lines, right? So as price goes up, many people will come in and short back down to the moving average lines. Right? Goes back up, price gets farther away. Look down here on the RSI. Price wants to gravitate back to the moving average line. So you can go and bring it and short it back down. Right up here, DEST, you could short it right back down to the moving average lines really quick. So now as you're banging your hotkeys on the way up, you're banging your hotkeys on the way down. Boom, boom. In and out. Awesome. Justin said, just gain the ability to short. That will help for sure. So Thinkorswim has terrible shorting availability. Interactive brokers and other ones have really good ones. We like interactive brokers for shorting. So it's these things, guys. You want to see these patterns, right? So you want to see the ascending triangles, the bigger overall patterns. You want to see the tweezer tops for the reversals, the ascending triangles over here, looking for the evening star patterns for the reversal. But actually, before it becomes an evening star, it becomes a star. Goes up with this doji candle as the warning to boom, come back down. So this 2 candlestick pattern shows you the reversals potentially coming. You want to find these bull flags, like kind of like this, right? Not the greatest of a bull flag, right? Went down a little bit further than I'd want, but kind of this bull flag. Maybe get in on a breakout over on this candle over here. Right, the breakout right here, getting above that 438 marker. And so you could have traded on a 5-minute right over here. You ideally would have had to get in over here, but 438 down to 423, 15 cents, not too bad. So you can see that bull flag. Then it goes up, gets messy, forms this ascending triangle, breaks out, star, then evening star, and there you go. Have to find these patterns. Super important. All right, guys. Today is not the greatest of days, but at least I was able to teach you guys and show you guys something here with ascending triangles and showing you the contrasting trading styles of a medium float stock compared to a low float. You can make money really well on both. If you're new, I would highly suggest not trading the low floaters until you've traded the medium and the high floaters successfully. Then you move over to the slow or to the low floaters. Again, if you're new, you're not going to be able to have the guts to bang in and out of hotkeys really quickly until you've made about a few hundred trades, couple hundred trades in a practice account first. So again, guys, so if you're watching on YouTube, again, giving you a heads up, we're not going to always do these streams every single day for you guys that are watching for free on YouTube. Again, we're only $10 per month. We've been doing them every day, but don't be surprised if in the near future you wake up and there's not a live stream. Also, too, guys, as well, remember, if you look over here on our subscribe channel, right over in here, we do not include live streaming in our pricing. So right now, we're only $10 a month. If you look in our offers, we don't even offer live streaming on here, but we've been doing it pretty much every day for the past month or month and a half. There may be days occasionally that we don't do a live stream. That may happen in the future or in the near future. I'll give you a heads up. Tomorrow I'm not going to do a live stream, so tomorrow there will be no live stream, but we have our chat room open for you guys as well. And also give you guys a heads up, even though live stream is not under our $10 a month service, for those that pay $10 or $99 a year, if we ever raise our prices, which is a very, it's always a possibility. It's not our intention now, but someday or we may decide to raise our rates. If that's the case, whoever's paying $10 a month or $99, we'll just tell you right up front, we'll make sure that if we do ever raise our prices, you will have that included in your, you'll get live streaming included. right? So basically pay 10 bucks or 99 bucks, you'll be fine. If you're not paying 10 bucks or $99 right now, what will happen is eventually, you know, a day or two a week, we might not do a live stream on YouTube, or we might do it and do it private for our members. Tomorrow, I'm not doing a stream whatsoever, but there's going to be some occasions moving forward, maybe once or twice a week, where we're just going to do the stream privately for our members only. So you YouTube members that have been watching for free and that aren't paying yet, it's going to be time to start paying up. If you don't like that, we can tell you guys you can go and pay other companies that are out there that would love to charge you a car payment per month on your monthly membership fees. You're not going to find anything for what we offer for 10 bucks a month. That's for darn sure. You're not going to find it. We can challenge you. Hey, go try to, right? Go find one that you could, but we're confident if you go find one somewhere else, you'll end up being back because no one's offering the value that we do. So Raph said before I wrap up here, what do you consider a low floater? All right, so that's the mystery question, right? What is low float? Low float absolutely is below 10 million float, up to 20 million. So kind of like this. Picture really low float below 10 million. Low float below 20, and then 20 to 50 million, you're kind of like your medium-ish float. 50 to 100 still medium to higher float, and then over 100 million is high float. What that basically means, if you guys are a beginner trader, low float means moves up, has the ability to move up really quickly and down really quickly. So you have the ability to make a lot more money up and also lose a lot more money down. Medium float, kind of more of your kind of casual moves up, casual moves down. Higher floater, slower grind up, right? Slower grind up, slower grind down. Doesn't mean they still can't pump and dump, but they're a lot less likely to. All right, guys, so that's what I got for you guys. We're 10 bucks a month. Sign up. You'll be grandfathered into it. For you guys that are listening right now, I'm not going to do a live stream tomorrow, but you guys could just go into our trade rooms. Our trade rooms, guys, we have a day trade room, swing trade room, futures trading room. We are open 24 hours a day. They are open, so you could just go in and chat with people, right? So I'm probably not going to be in the trade rooms whatsoever. Tomorrow, I need to take a day off a little bit. My head's been spinning. I'm talking to you guys 3 to 4 hours a day. So I might go to the beach or do something. I don't know what I'm going to do. But so yeah, the trade rooms will be open, and good news also too, we have our right up here for members only. We share our trade ideas link every single day. You're welcome, Raph. So this trade ideas link is the live link to our scanner, right? To our trade ideas $120 a month scanner. So if you don't think we're worth 10 bucks a month, you could join us just for sharing trade ideas every day at a $120 scanner and save yourself some money. We do, again, recommend getting your own copy of trade ideas, but only when you can afford it, right? Don't pay money if you can't afford it. So again, trade rooms, we share our trade ideas link in here every day. Everybody's very helpful in our trade room. So if we're not in there, somebody's usually always helping each other out. So that's a good thing. We're trying to do that pay it forward mentality, really helping people to help other people. And that's what we're about. We do our watch list every day over here, our trade alerts over here. Make sure you read about our trade alerts and watch list. Do not trade our alerts unless you know how to trade. Just because an alert goes off, again, perfect example. Today's one of those days that pretty much all of our alerts went off except for one, but I'm sure there's maybe a couple decent moves and other ones that probably weren't so hot. Although, yeah. So that's where, again, even on swing trading, I was seeing, because some of those ones that were swing trading went off and now they're green. So some of them may have been quick drops and then buying back up. So that's why with swing trading, sometimes a swing trade many a times becomes a day trade. So that's why, again, make sure you're reading over here our watch list alerts and know how to trade. Don't just trade just to trade. We have thousands of dollars worth of courses that will keep you busy for quite a long time. So take advantage of them. And again, as we said, you can subscribe. The link's below, or just click subscribe. And we are only 10 bucks per month. All right, everybody. You all have a wonderful day. And hopefully the next time I see you guys, I will have my new computer up and running. It'll be faster, less delays, and all of that good stuff. If not, then I'll probably get frustrated and agitated and yelling at Dan, saying, why is my computer not working properly? You're my IT guy. You always got to yell at your IT guy, right? What is wrong? Oh my gosh, why is my computer not working so properly? Yada yada. And then Dan will fix it like he always does. All right, guys. Have fun, and we'll see you all soon. Enjoy.